Earth, throughout its life, even when it formed, it was spinning, and it got a little wider at the equator than it does at the poles. So it's not actually a sphere, it's oblate, and officially it's an oblate spheroid. That's what we call it. But not only that.
Okay, now pay attention, because here's where he debunks the ball, and he makes allowances, and he acknowledges the farther distances that we have on our flat Earth map, our flat Earth model, our flat Earth reality. And the only reason he would admit to this is because the distances are verifiably bigger. Okay, pay attention, here he goes.
It's slightly wider below the equator than above the equator. Slightly wider.
Okay, saying slightly wider, the word slightly is his fudge word. Okay, same as when Will Duffy said,
people travel to the South Pole from 3 different continents, all at a very similar amount of time,
They get there in a similar amount of time. That's also a fudge word. Just keep that in mind.
Slightly wider.
Meaning that to circumnavigate around the Earth, following a latitude circle, that the circles are bigger south of the equator. The longitude lines, therefore, are spread out just like we see on our flat Earth, on the flat Earth map right here. This is the reality that he is admitting to, because the only reason he would admit to this is because the distances are verifiably bigger south of the equator and continue to get bigger. But in order to fit his ball, the ball Earth, into that, he just warped it and called it pear-shaped. Well, no, there's no reason a spinning ball would warp and get fatter on the bottom. All spinning balls get wider at their equator. That's all, not below the equator. That's not how it works on a spinning ball. When you go south of the equator on a ball, everything pinches in, converge into the South Pole. He's admitting the flat Earth map, which continues to spread out. That's why he's saying the Earth is pear-shaped, because we know the distances south of the equator are bigger than they are north of the equator, and they continue to get bigger. Because we know the distances south of the equator are bigger than they are north of the equator, and they continue to get bigger. This is an admission right here that debunks the ball. Okay? Pay attention, here he goes.
It's slightly wider below the equator than above the equator.
A little chubbier.
Yeah. Chubby's a good word. It's like pear-shaped.
Yeah.
So, it turns out that stuff is flat. That stuff is flat.
He says that the longitude lines actually spread out. They keep spreading out. They get wider. Remember, the Earth is pear-shaped. It's heavier, wider on the bottom. That means south of the equator, they're still spreading out. That's the flat Earth map that he's making an allowance for. He's allowing for the flat Earth map. The distances are greater once you get south of the equator. They don't start to pinch back in and converge down to the South Pole as they would on a ball. They keep spreading out as they do in our flat Earth reality. And that would mean that the globe is incorrect south of the equator, because the globe longitude lines start to converge toward the South Pole on a globe. But he's saying that it's bigger south of the equator, more like the flat Earth, where the longitude lines keep spreading out. So that would mean that the globes are inaccurate as far as navigating in the southern hemisphere, because everything is bigger and wider apart than they say, than the globe shows. And going back to the Will Duffy and his final experiment saying that all people on these 3 continents, Australia, South America, and Africa, could all head down to the South Pole and get there at the same time. No, they can't. There is no South Pole, first of all. Go back and see this video, Will Duffy trying to gotcha. Okay, so that's probably it for my little mini-series here on Neil deGrasse Tyson. Apparently he's a flat earther, right? Let's recap. We had him saying you can't see curvature even at 63 miles up.
Oh, by the way, you didn't ask, but I'm going to tell you. Do you know how high up above the Earth he was?
No.
So if you take a
63 miles.
Well, yeah, right. So take a schoolroom globe, and that's how high above it is he? So he's about 2 millimeters above the surface of a schoolroom globe. So nobody has seen the curvature of the Earth from that height. I just want to make that clear. Nobody has seen the curvature of the Earth from that height. I just want to make that clear.
A baller said to me in the comments, "Oh, so you believe everything Neil deGrasse Tyson says? So you must be a ball earth believer. Welcome to our spherical earth," or whatever. And I said, "No, I just catch him when he tells the truth." And I point that out. See, all of this is damage control. That's all. But he's got to tell the truth because of the facts. People who've gone up, like in the Branson flight, like Wally Funk here.
Icon and now an aerospace, a space icon. What was it like?
Woo! I can't tell you. I had such a good instructor. He took us through everything that we were going to do. So when I went up this morning, the noise wasn't quite as bad, and we went right on up, and I saw darkness. I thought I was going to see the world, but we weren't quite high enough.
She didn't see the world. She didn't see the curvature. She didn't see the ball Earth from 63 miles up, what she expected to see. She saw nothing. So that's damage control. And then all the other high altitude footage we've shown, a flat Earth. And then you have this. There are wider distances south of the equator. The ball Earth is inaccurate south of the equator because everything spreads out just like our flat Earth model and our flat Earth map, our flat Earth reality. Okay, so this debunks all the claims that we've had to endure, all the anti-flat earthers coming to our channels saying they see curvature everywhere. You don't see curvature. You don't see it from your balcony. You don't see it from a mountaintop. You don't see it from an airplane. He says you don't see it from 63 miles up. You can't see it. So you're not seeing it. You're not seeing the results of it. You're not seeing any curvature. Okay, this is damage control. And now we have him also saying pear shape.
And officially it's an oblate spheroid. That's what we call it. But not only that, it's slightly wider below the equator than above the equator.
A little chubbier.
A little chubbier.
Yeah.
Chubby's a good way. It's like pear shape.
The Earth is pear-shaped. This is to make allowances for the flat Earth reality that latitude circles get bigger and bigger after the equator, and the longitude lines spread out just like this map. Done. Thank you, Neil deGrasse Tyson, for admitting that the Earth is flat. And let's, one more time in Neil's own words.
That stuff is flat.
Yes, it turns out that stuff is flat. All right, thanks, everybody. We'll talk to you soon. Got more stuff coming. All right. Thumbs up, subscribe, and if you want to support the channel, there's some links and stuff. But thanks a lot, everybody. Talk to you soon. Bye.